It's Easter Sunday, and I just woke up, and so often I wake up with so much on my mind, and sometimes it takes me a long time to fall asleep, and a lot of times I pray, Lord, just give me peace of mind or whatever. But I've always thought of myself as an overthinker. And then I realized this morning when I woke up was stuff on my mind that did involve me and also didn't involve me. I realized everything I think about is important and stuff that needs to be addressed. So is it overthinking? And maybe I lay awake at night because God wants me to address it. He wants me to say something. And so often, I just don't want to be bothered with what comes with speaking. Like, you have to take responsibility for your thoughts once they're spoken out loud. You have to be prepared for reactions and questions, and be prepared to make a change since you brought it up. So with all that being said, and I hope I can remember everything, that's why I'm making the video now, because I haven't even washed my face and brushed my teeth. TMI. But my first thought this morning was, when you're in a relationship and you're raising children, how many people really think about, am I an example to my child of what a relationship should be? And it's going both ways, men and women, especially when you have children that are the opposite sex. So dads, the way you treat your mate, your wife, your girlfriend, is that the way you want someone to treat your daughter? Women, the way you treat your husband, your boyfriend, is that the way you want some girl to treat your son? I also thought about how we were raised and a lot of cliche things that were said. The golden rule: treat others as you want to be treated. I thought about, does that always apply? So right now I'm going to get personal. I am a very emotional, lovey, sentimental, I love hugs and compliments and stuff like that. My husband doesn't need all that. Am I supposed to treat him the way I want to be treated and he treat me the way he wants to be treated? He don't care about that stuff. And maybe when I do it, it's overbearing to him. Is the golden rule the rule for every situation? But backing it up a little, I want to specifically address this right now. And the point of this is just to put stuff on your mind or get out what's on my mind so that I know, whether it's in my life or it's in the lives of the people I try to help, be real about it. We teach children to mind kid business, and it used to be speak when spoken to, and this generation has definitely changed all that stuff. But the people who were raised in the generation of, mind kid business and all of that stuff, did it work for us? Like, yeah, we had respect, but we didn't deal with a lot of issues. We just kept pushing. And are we okay mentally? I'm not saying you have to go to a therapist, but I'm saying address things. For example, have we taught our children that all abuse is not physical? And that it doesn't have to be somebody calling you out of your name and telling you you're no good. But if somebody is knowingly playing on your emotions in order to manipulate you, then that is abuse. And I said all of that because I've witnessed some situations where, in this case, it is a man doing the wrong, but like I said, it goes both ways. A husband provides everything his wife wants, but he doesn't spend any time with her. He kind of belittles her dreams. Like, not that, oh, that ain't nothing, that's stupid, but does nothing to show his interest in her dream or to further her dreams. I already said he doesn't spend any time with her. Cheats on her. And for a lot of families, that seems typical and something like, okay, you either give over it or move on. But that causes emotional damage. But he loves his children. And he has given his children everything he possibly could so far as providing. But those children saw that mother being lonely and saw the emotional damage that was caused to that mother. And so now there's a situation where maybe they're going to split up or maybe they're not. But it's out there that this is not going right. And now the children don't want to talk to dad. Are the children wrong? Should they stay out of grown folks' business, stay in their kid place? I don't know about y'all, but my mother taught me that my sisters was all I had. We stick together. And I know many families do, especially when it comes to fighting. If you see your sibling fighting, I don't care what it is, you jump in. You don't let them go through that by themselves or whatever. What excludes us as parents? And I'm not saying children should jump in and be disrespectful or anything, but I'm saying that why can't those children have a feeling about what's going on with their parents if they see one is hurting? If they see their dad is hurting and their mom caused that, what makes you think they wouldn't have a feeling about that? Someone has now hurt someone that they love. And just because they love the person that did the hurting doesn't mean that they're not going to feel some type of way. I think too often, especially in the past, we've discounted that children are humans and they have feelings. It might not always be respectful or the right time to voice those feelings, but they still need to be voiced. They still need to be addressed. I have so many things running through my head right now, and I just want to share because it's real life for so many people who are in so many situations. And this is not to say that I can help you, that I know the answer. It's just to say that now it's on the table. You're not going through it alone. My thing is faith. That's another thing that has to be addressed. I absolutely 100% believe in God and know of all the things He has done for me. I was raised in a religion that if I did not serve Him a certain way, that I was serving Him wrong. But God never took His hand off me. Even when I was just trying to get away from that old religion and didn't know to even acknowledge God at the moment, He never took His hand off me. I'm not a believer that God deals with everybody the same way. And this might seem extreme, but I think one proof in the pudding is that He's allowed black people to go through murder, slavery, everything in America for how many hundreds of years? But it doesn't mean that He doesn't love us. It doesn't mean that He doesn't bless us. My point is just that He doesn't deal with all people the same way. So we cannot all act the same. We can't all act the same because we're not all the same and we're not all treated the same. Some stuff, my point is that some stuff, the ways we were raised, the stuff we believe in, it doesn't always fit. And it's not because your faith is weak or you've grown weary or something's wrong with you or you just want to do what you want to do. It's because that ain't realistic, but God is. My faith in God doesn't waver because I have problems. My faith in God doesn't waver because I disagree with people that I love. I just know that I have to take the responsibility to address the situation. And talking about stuff, even when it's uncomfortable, is a responsibility. You cannot do things and say things and expect everything just to blow over. Because somebody has a thought or a feeling about everything that's said and done. Are you willing to deal with the reaction? And reactions are, we were taught that, everything has an equal but opposite reaction. No. Reactions are not always equal. Hence, injustice. Somebody steals a candy bar from a store and they're black in a white neighborhood. They get 12 years. The same white girl in the same neighborhood steals the candy bar and they call her parent and ask them to pay for the candy bar. Everything doesn't have an equal and opposite reaction. A wife cheats on her husband, that hurt that man's ego. He can't take that. Men are different from women. He might have cheated on a woman 100 times before that. And you stayed. And now you're expected to stay when he does it, unless you make a change. You can't do the same thing. Not because that's fair, because men don't handle things the same way women do. I have so much on my mind, and I'm just going to start writing it down. But I'm also going to start taking the responsibility of speaking on it. Because I don't believe on those nights that I can't sleep is because I've lost God's favor or I don't have no peace. Because me and God like this, I've come up in my life so many situations where I could have just fallen to the bottom. And typically in church, people say, God dug me out that horrible pit. Quite honestly, I've been dug out of horrible pits, but it's been so many pits that God never even allowed me to fall in. Not because I'm so good, but because He loves me and He knows I love Him and He knows that I have faith and I believe in Him and He knows that my heart is good. My intentions are pure. I thank God for being who He is. And so, because I give Him all honor and all praise, and I ask Him continuously to create in me a clean heart and a right spirit, when this stuff is on my mind and I can't get any so-called peace, I'm going to continue in supplication to him to make sure I'm doing the right thing. But I'm going to say something. I'm going to say something because I think that's the reason that he made me an overthinker, because I can make a change.